Some of you are involved in extramarital relationships that you cannot afford to be in. I'm not saying that I condone extramarital relationships because I do not, but remember, this is a channel where we talk about real life situations. Some of y'all were not present in math class. You either skipped math class or you failed in it, one of the two. There was a song a long time ago and there's a catchphrase in there that says cheaper to keep her. And it's about a man who had extramarital affair. And I think the person that he was involved with wanted a little bit more. I think he wanted him to leave his wife or whatever. And he basically told her it was cheaper to keep her. But see, dude, you already spending too much money as it is. Now, I spoke in a previous audio about the man who's living on disability. And he's getting a little bit more disability a month because his estranged wife signed for him. So he's still technically legally married. But he's in love with a woman, and the woman is getting frustrated because he won't make a decision as to, whether he's going to divorce his wife or what's going on. And this woman has a business, and she's obviously bringing in more money per month than the little bit of extra money he's getting for disability. The truth is that he wasn't sure if he was going to be faithful to her, and that was the source of a lot of their disagreements and arguments. And they have a toxic relationship to this day. It's been going on for years. That story is not unfamiliar, people. Not unfamiliar at all. And the truth is you got a lot of people that are out here. They're running around out here in the streets getting around these single people. And you're playing this and you're playing that. And over a period of time, the single person's already taking themselves off the market for a married person. That was the first mistake they made. You don't ever do that. If you're single and you choose to go ahead and get involved with a married person, you better keep your options open and keep acting single because you're single. Don't take yourself off the market and say you're exclusive. You ain't exclusive to nobody because they're married. This applies to males and females. But anyway, it's providing some kind of financial support for you in a lot of cases. In a lot of cases, of side chicks and side dudes. That married person is providing something. They might be paying for a car note if they hadn't bought the car for them. They're helping them pay bills inside their house. They're taking money out of the primary household, so they're spending more money to take care of them. Then they turn around and they go home and they have to take care of everything in the house. And if the kids involved, you got to take care of the kids. So you got more money coming out your pocket because you're bringing this extra person into the situation. Some way, form or fashion, even if it's a fancy dinner. That's one fancy dinner, one less fancy dinner you wouldn't have to make. You could have took your wife out to that, or better yet, could have stayed home. You could have took your husband out to that, but you're out there with involved with your partner. In a lot of cases, after the dinner comes something else. You got to go to a hotel room if they're not staying alone. The gasoline you got to spend back and forth, running back and forth to this side person's house, that's money. If they got a bill, if they got beauty expenses and things like that, taking them shopping, that's extra money that you're spending that should belong in the house. But you choose to lead this life. See, the thing is, you got to pay to play. That's all that is to it. You got to pay to play. And the majority of you that have lives like this, you are not 6- and 7-figure earners. Most of y'all are earning the average salary of $50,000, $60,000 a year. Y'all average. You got to go to work every single day and get a paycheck just like everybody else. You got the average amount of bills, but you turn around and have one, some of you 2 and 3 out there in the street, and you're helping to pay their bills as well. You can't afford it. You could barely make it on what you got going on at home. But you think you the shit. You think you the woman because you got a side dude. You think you the man because you got a side chick, bragging to your little friends that co-sign all that mess, and your bank account's just dwindling. When you go to work, you ain't working for yourself. You working for the side chick and you working for your family. You ain't getting nothing for yourself. You have more money coming out your pocket. Because in most cases, if you got yourself a side dude or a side chick, they ain't paying for everything. And if they do, it's for a very short period of time. So how is it that it's cheap? Yeah, it's cheaper to keep your family, yeah. But most of y'all don't have the resources to be doing that. If you didn't work that good paying job, you wouldn't have the mortgage, you wouldn't have the car, you probably wouldn't have the wife or the side chick, because they probably got you on the basis of the fact that you're making a good income. But most of y'all are average people who got to punch a clock every single day, and you turn around, you want to get somebody extra out in the street when you're barely taking care of what you got at home. You don't have home under control. But you're going to go outside and get somebody else. And then turn around and try to power trip and try to control their life. Come on, they're single. By the time you leave, the majority of them, there'll be a handful of them that probably think that they're going to have you. But the majority of them, they'll turn around and go out with somebody else because they got the freedom to do so. You don't. And a lot of y'all already understand that going into it. That's how come most of you, the smart ones, have sense enough not to say anything. But there are a couple of you jerks that go in there and try to control a second household. You ain't got no control over the first one. You don't have enough money to take care of 2 houses. Then you try to put it under some kind of fancy name or whatever the relationship is supposed to be. Let's just say your wife said, okay, it's okay for you to have affairs and whatnot. Okay, if that's the case and it's so okay and y'all barely making it, why stay married? Go your separate ways. You ain't got enough money to take care of what you got at home legally, let alone go pick up somebody else out in the street. And y'all running around here proud. You better go get them blood pressure pills before you fall out this morning, because you know you didn't take your pill. You better change your diet and get rid of all that extra weight you put on before you have a heart attack. You're not even taking care of yourself because you're busy around here trying to feed your ego, feed your sex drive and everything else. That stuff costs money, man. Ain't nobody going to let you in their life and have you take up all their time on that basis. And you're not going to come out of pocket. You crazy for thinking that. And if it's a marriage of convenience, if you haven't heard the previous audio on that, you need to go ahead and listen to that. I'm not going to go into too much detail. But if it's a marriage of convenience where the both of you understand they're extra people, okay, fine, y'all agree on that, but you got to make sure that you got deep pockets to handle it. Especially if that person knows that you're married and know that man, it's going to cost you. It's going to cost you to stay in that relationship. That person ain't going to let you run in and out their house for free. No, they're not. So you need to kind of grow out of that and leave that stuff alone. Just saying.